he put an offer in for wherever they were moving to that they didn't bite. So he's gonna wait it out.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's up, Kevin?
Why, Dave? You looking to move to Elgin Estates?
We looked at it. We looked at
Oh,
that
did
house
you?
today.
Did you?
Yeah. It was nice.
Be careful, man. Township zoning board's tough.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
HOA on that street's brutal too, man. You gotta-
It's like that commercial, Cindy or whatever her name is.
Oh, yeah.
The Geico commercial. Hedges are 2 inches above limit.
Just so everybody knows, I'm gonna start recording the meeting just so we can get that started.
It's just the four of us.
I did send an invite to Mike Sheridan. I don't know if he's joining or not.
I mean, that will only be a problem if we're have 2 and 2 split, but I
Yeah,
don't know issues with these tonight.
so if I can, while we're waiting, I'll just do my run through of everything and get everybody on board who's listening and all of that. So tonight is a zoning hearing board meeting. I believe there's 3 cases on the docket. Well, 3 potential cases. And what I just want to make sure, a couple things with everyone, that we have, you can be a party protestant for any one of those cases if you're a resident, lives relatively close or has property relatively close. You may be a party in standing. And if you are, you would be able to raise your hand when we ask for any party protestants. And what that does is it gives you the right to ask questions of witnesses, present any witnesses on your own, present any testimony on your own. It also gives you the right to, hold on a second, sorry about that. It also gives you the right to appeal once the decision is made. And so if that's the case, when we get to a case and that's what you want to do, please make sure when the chairman asks if there's any party protestants that you raise your hand and that we can get you it on the record. In addition, there's also the option to give public comment. Public comment, it can be taken by anybody. You don't have to be affected by the case necessarily, but the board would take public comment, and when they take public comment, the biggest difference is that you don't have rights in the case, but you can still make public comment at any time related to the case. We take public comment 3 ways typically during these meetings. One is that you can raise your hand, and that's a virtual raising of your hand. You do that through the screen. We would then recognize you and we would allow you to speak. If by chance you have trouble raising your hand or you've called in and you can't exercise the virtual raise your hand option, you could send your phone number to publiccomment@newtowntownship.org. And again, that's public comment, all one word, at Newtown Township, again, all one word, .org. And you send that to there. We watch and monitor that during the meeting. And if you make comment, if you send your phone number, we would recognize that phone number. It needs to be the phone number you called into the Zoom meeting on. We would recognize that. Just give us your name and address and we would recognize you. If you wanted to just give public comment that way, we take public comment that way as well. It would be read into the record for the case. And then we also do and check the box downstairs, which I will do here in a few moments to make sure that public comment wasn't dropped off prior to the meeting. So I believe I've covered all of the responsibilities for that, and I will turn the meeting over to the chairman.
I guess we have everyone here, so we can call the meeting to order. I think it'd probably be best if we go out of order a little bit. Do you guys have any problem with that if we start with the Marriott Hotel 7.1?
No, I'm good with that.
Right, so they're looking for an extension. How long of extension do they need? Is it, are we gonna, a year or 6 months?
I don't know if they requested a specific time frame. I know it's in light of our ordinance that limits variance approvals to not more than 12 months.
If there's no done,
I'm sorry. So I think that they would be accepting of a year, but I do want to see if I can find any of the letter to the township. I'll pull this up and share the screen with everyone. Can you see the letter now that I've posted to the screen
yes.
Yes.
by their attorney? I do believe. Yeah, Mr. Angelos's letter request of 1-year extension. So that's up for board's consideration.
All right,
mean,
this,
What have we done in the past with things like this? Andy, if you can offer any guidance, I mean,
I believe that I've been familiar with one extension that was granted. Obviously, under the circumstances, it makes things a little different because of the economic impact of the virus and the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's up to your discretion. The request is for a year.
I mean, does anyone else have an opinion on a year or 6 months? I wouldn't want to go over a year, obviously, but
no, but I feel like
Problem
even
with the
a,
year.
I would be okay with the year too, considering everything that's going on. I mean, who knows how many months they're going to keep getting pushed behind, and then we're just going to have this in front of us again. So
yeah, that's what, if we do 6 months, that's what I figure. This is going 6 months delays right now. So if it's going to keep going on, let's just do a year. I mean, I guess we can also find out, is there any public comment on this matter?
did we check to see if we have any party protestants even in here for this?
Let me go back and see. I'm going to close this.
Well, and I guess I didn't think, do we need ask for party protestants since this has already been voted on? Do we have to go through that if it's just a continuance or just public comment, I assumed?
Richie Sikori's got his
I
hand
have
up.
Rich Sikora with his hand raised, so I'm going to allow him to talk.
Sounds good.
Hi, guys. I think anybody has an opportunity to demonstrate to you that maybe circumstances have changed that would warrant you to not extend it. If nobody is offering those circumstances, you can do this without a hearing. I believe that's the process.
Okay. Any other questions on the board? Anyone else? Everyone seem okay with it? Does anybody want to make a motion to approve a year extension or?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve application Z2019-12 for a 1-year extension.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I guess, anyone opposed? Okay, so that passed.
Pasquale, will you send a letter to that effect to Mr. Angelos?
I will, this is Dave DePasqua. I will draft an order for Mr. Lodge to sign, and then, yes, we'll send the correspondence to Mr. Angelos.
Very good, thank you.
All right, I guess I could just check on the file on 2020-08, this Kaplin. Is that going to be a continuance? I did get a letter this afternoon saying that they were interested in continuing the case.
I believe that's the request, Mr. Sikora. I believe you're still able to kind of fill us in. Can you do that?
Yeah, they've requested a continuance. The notices, the critical notices were sent out and posted and published for the hearing. The actual applicant is different than the property owner here. So the property owner said, hey, look, we just didn't get actual notice of the hearing. The attorney had a conflict. He said, 1 or 2 days notice isn't enough for me. And he asked that it be continued. In the meantime, the notice of violation had given the applicant the opportunity to request zoning relief for the use, caused the notice of violation to be issued. And I believe that application has been submitted. So there's going to be some sort of zoning action coming up anyway regarding this matter. So I don't know if they'll line up or not, but there's still future activity for this applicant. They've requested a continuance in the meantime.
Yeah, if I can maybe explain a little bit further.
Sure.
The township recognized and received a complaint regarding improper use of the property. I sent a notice of violation to that effect to the property owner. Subsequently found out that they had leased the land to another entity. At that point in time, that entity had filed the appeal. So the current action before you is an appeal application. Again, we were ready to move forward. However, there was this conflict with or possibility that they did not receive proper notice. In the meantime, since the appeal application was filed, they have subsequently filed yet another zoning application to actually identify that use on the property. I did a review of that and sent them a review letter explaining that they needed additional zoning relief. So there may be an application that we'll have to discuss it with them as to whether or not they want to withdraw the appeal and submit a new application that would be for special exception and potential variances. So that's kind of where it's at. So I guess in our opinion, it does make sense to grant the continuance.
Anyone else have an opinion on that? I mean, I think that sounds reasonable too. If there's another issue in this matter could come up another month, then it makes more sense to continue this out.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Do we need to say, does anyone have any public comment on this, or do we need that for a vote on this continuance?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay.
What I would do is I would officially open the hearing. I would put the continuance request in as Exhibit A and specify the date of the next hearing, which is next month.
August 20th.
Advertise.
August 20th.
Okay, August 20th.
August 20th would be our next regularly scheduled zoning meeting.
Okay, so, all right, so we want to open Z 2020-08, Kaplin. I guess so we'll formally open the record and introduce the letter that they sent requesting this continuance as Exhibit A. And any other comment or public comment on that before we make a motion to continue this till August 20th? Okay.
I see no other hands raised.
All right. Look, I'd make a motion on 2020-08 to continue this hearing till the August 20th zoning board date. Those in favor, or I guess second? Anyone?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. And all right, sounds
All right.
good.
Board members, this is Sakura signing out. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you next month.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rich.
All right, so we move on to Z 2020-09, Mr. and Mrs. Brown.
I'm going to allow Mr. Brown to talk. Mr. Andrew Brown.
Can you hear me?
We can?
We are just applying for a variance so we can put a fence around our backyard. We have
Yes, we got to swear him in first. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. We have to swear him in there, Robert.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Andrew,
Yes.
Mr. Brown, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So,
Yes,
all right, thank you. All right, sorry to interrupt.
no problem.
If I could also interrupt, Mr. Brown, I apologize, but I just want to clear up for the record that your property was posted and proper notice was sent out to all your neighbors. So our record is complete.
All right, and the file's in order, so everything's in
File
order?
is in order. That's
Okay.
correct.
All right, Mr. Brown, you can go ahead.
We have plans to put a fence in the backyard. However, we are on a corner lot. So the side of our yard faces the road. And I believe that's considered a front yard by the township standards. So we were asking for a variance to allow that fence to go in.
Okay, can you tell us what kind of fence, why you need the fence and? just go into a little-
The fence, we have 3 little children, 6, 3, and 1, 3 boys. And we just figured it would be safer for them in the backyard. The fence is I don't know the exact make of it. I think it's 54 inches high.
Is this this community, this is the fence?
It's the
They
standard
approved-
fence that you
Oh.
have to put in.
All right, so it's that black wrought iron type fence?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we had a case similar to this
I
last
say
month.
we had one back in May for
Yeah.
this, right? Same
The
thing.
Mandel, yeah.
That's correct.
So you have the road right there and you have the walking trail on your side yard, but which is considered a front yard also.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can
I don't, is it-
everyone see, excuse me, can everyone see
Yeah.
the screen share?
Yeah.
Okay.
does anyone have any questions on this matter? This seems very similar to last month. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Andy, or is there anything that they have to do here just in terms of being that close to the sidewalk? Any setbacks that they have to meet there? I mean, I know, sometimes there's some rules
Yeah.
with that, but
Well, I know in the past application, we were concerned with the fencing being within any right of way or clear sight triangle. So you had made a condition to that effect, that the fence not be installed in any right of way that would be associated with Rockwood Road or Greenbank Lane. And of course, not affect any drainage pattern.
okay.
That was some of the conditions you had placed on previous applications like this.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be
Yeah,
fine. Does anyone have any other questions for this? I mean, I think as long as we comply with those, I think that's reasonable. And this is reasonable.
So your HOA already said it was good as long as it, we go through the zoning process and it meets all of the setback requirements and things like that, correct? That's how I'm reading your HOA letter.
The HOA, that's actually, so we applied for it last year.
Yeah.
And then decided not to go through with it. And we just resubmitted last week. They've given us a confident verbal approval, but not official. Although it was approved last year. The same plan, but it had enough time had elapsed that they wanted to have the board review the plans again.
I mean, I feel like this is similar to the other ones we've seen. And I know we've talked about some of the regulations in place for these fences in front yards and all that, but I mean, I see no issues here, so.
I don't either. Does anyone, I guess, I didn't ask you if there's any party protestants or anyone that wants to make public comment on this?
Not unless they're sitting in Mr. Brown's living room right now. He's the only one left on here.
All right. So anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
All right. So, So
That application number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm scrolling back up to
I
it.
got 20-09, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, make a motion to approve, seeking a special exception to section 172-014 of the Newtown zoning code. As long as this fence also complies with doesn't affect any right of ways or affect any drainage patterns. And I guess any other, Andy, anything else we need there? Or is that just right of way and drainage patterns?
Yes, that
I guess-
was my-
So, not affect any line of sight or sight lines.
correct.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Good luck with your fence.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, I'll try to get your permit out sometime next week.
Okay, thanks very much.
All right.
All right. All right. That wasn't bad. Anybody else have anything? Or I guess that's it for us. So,
See you guys in August, right?
all right.
Thanks.
Sounds
August
good.
20th.
All right. Stay
Thanks,
safe,
guys.
everybody.
All right,
later.
good night.
Night.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
So, yeah.
Thanks.